Welcome everybody, this is the final level of this episode, 8 Ways to Hell. You dare enter my domain, well you will never leave, unless you pay me offering in your blood. Oh wait, why am I talking like this? This is not how I'm supposed to do commentary. Oh wait, I got this evil voice dial, which is cranked all the way up, so okay, let me adjust this.
Okay, is this better? Alright, I guess it is. So this is episode E3A8, 8 Ways to Hell. And my name is Captain Redundancy, by the way. So anyway, this is the secret level of episode 3, and it's made by no one else but Joe Sigler, yeah. I really would wager that at some point during the development, Tomal eventually got into some sort of crazy phase where it got into some sort of creativity overdose because, well, there's over 32 levels into this game, and I'm not even counting the warp-only level that this game has, but yeah. All in all, I'd say Tomal didn't make about 7 levels into the whole game. Other than that, he did pretty much every single level, but anyway, yeah. Going back to Joe Sigler, well, he made Wall to Wall into the shower episode, and this is his first and only level that he made into the retail game. Bearing all of the warp-only levels, because, yeah, there are 3 levels into this game that are only accessible through cheat codes, and he made 2 out of 3, so yeah, that's a pretty good average of levels that I'm pretty sure a lot of people never ended up playing. Oh god! Okay, that's a pretty nasty room. Tight always and enforcers never mix. As for the level, yeah, this level, well, just like Elevator Trouble, it's a really long and kinda painful level, but thankfully, unlike Elevator Trouble, this level is only kinda painful, although this room here is pretty dickish. If you decide for some reason to go into this hallway expecting a secret, you will simply find a dead end in which there was absolutely nothing and in which you couldn't even escape. Basically, if you went into this room and the door closed behind you, you'd be locked in and the only way out will be to kill yourself by going in front of the fire chute, ending your way. But at least the game handed you a way to kill yourself if you got trapped, because there are some traps like this in Extreme Rise of the Triad, but in those traps, you cannot escape. So instead, what happens is, if you didn't save your game, either you'd have to cheat in order to restart the level, but if you didn't have access to cheat codes, which was pretty likely if you played the game back in the time that it was new, because basically you needed like magazines and player guides in order to be able to figure out what the cheat codes are, but if you didn't have any of them, well, congratulations, your whole game was ruined and you pretty much had to restart the game from any given point. But then again, well, the main thing that I will say is, if you're playing Extreme Rise of the Triad, there will be no reason to never save. Considering the high difficulty of that game, you pretty much had to save at any given opportunity, considering that the chances to permanently screw yourself or simply die were really high. This level also isn't fun in game because it's also home of one of the most retarded mazes into the whole game. Basically, you're going into this maze in order to figure out your way through this tree up right here, but you have to push a ton of push walls in order to make it through, and to make matters even worse, some of them lead to dead ends, or some other push walls, once they're pushed, they will end up in the way of other push walls, and thus it will become impossible to reach the tree hub. So basically, this is the hardest extra lives to get into the entire game. Not only it's completely tedious to get, but also, well, it's not even worth the trouble, considering that, yeah, just look at my extra lives right here. I have 99, I've got all of the extra lives that I'll ever need, considering that I never end up using any of them. And I really like those dead ends too. Yeah, alright, I finally found it. No, Mike's secret for potted plant. Alright, here it is, finally. I mean, wasn't that a good way to spend your time? Oh, it totally was. Although thankfully this level has far better ways in order to make you waste your time. I gotta say, that's a pretty nice level, but, well, this level is a mix from the sublime and the completely dumb. There are some parts into this level which I really gotta upload because they're really well done and clever, but there are some other parts, For instance, the maze that we just went through that are complete bullshit and it's absolutely not fun to play at all, but yeah, this level has a few surprises up its sleeve. And also, for a level which is called 8 Ways to Hell, you'd expect this level to be a whole lot less welcoming than this one, because this level is so bright. I mean, Elevator Trouble was so dark and gloomy, but this one, you can clearly see everything. This is the most happy hell that I've ever seen, although the backtracking is not pretty. Unfortunately, this level also tends to get somewhat carried over with backtracking, because you do have to do a whole lot of unnecessary detours through this level that probably could have been spared, although there's one part where the game pretty much compensates all of the backtracking you've done. And basically... Oh my god. Okay, I think I'm okay. I think I'm still okay, especially after seeing that from about 5 millimeters away, but yeah, I'm okay. It's a good thing at least that this level has a shit ton of missile weapons into it. Basically, you're free to use whatever you want. It's got a ton of flame walls, about 10,000 of different bazookas, fire bombs, name it, you've got it. Just go into the little snack bar over here and ask for your favorite missile weapon. Okay, I don't really think this is how it works, but yeah. Or maybe it does. Oh yeah, and this level also has some pretty sneaky trap. For instance, the pitfall right in front of a fire chute, or the pitfall into the middle of the spin blade contraption.